Hi, Sharon here again. Now that we've had a chance to talk about some bad bugs in our gardens and some things that you don't want to have in your garden, now let's talk about some of our little friends in the garden. There are a lot of really beneficial insects in the garden, and there's also a lot of beneficial mites in the garden. And one of the non-beneficial mites we were going to talk about today, but I couldn't really find an example of, is spider mites. People get spider mites on their plants. They're little teeny tiny yellow mites with little webbing and a little grainy look to your plant, and it's really detrimental to your plant to have them. Those appear a lot of times in the summer when the weather gets hot. But before we get into the hot weather, and we still have a lot of humidity in the air, we see a lot of these little red beneficial mites, and these are the ones that I want to talk about today. We have one little guy actually running around on the table, and we'll just take a second and you can take a look at him. One of the nice things about these little mites is they're free and they're everywhere. Right now you can find them anywhere where you have cement, if you have like this little stone wall over here, or if you have rocks in your yard that are out in the sun. They tend to collect on cement and on rocks because there's little tiny mosses growing on there, and the mosses are being eaten by little tiny bugs, which they're happy to eat. So if you take one of those rocks and put it next to a plant that has spider mites or something maybe that is prone to spider mites, and if roses, brugmansias, there's a number of different plants that are just more prone to spider mites than others. And if you put those where the bricks are and where the rocks are, these little guys will climb right up the stem and take care of your spider mite problem. They like it a little more humid than the problem spider mites, and so it helps occasionally to mist your plant just to help keep the humidity up high for them. But otherwise, they will do a better job cleaning off mites than any of the miticides I can sell you.